This is a safety training program sponsored by Cincinnati Incorporated. This program will review the rules of basic press brake operation, which should be followed at all times while setting up or operating a press brake. These rules are vitally important to help ensure your safety and the safety of your co-workers. Experienced as well as new operators will find this program useful. To outline what is covered, this course will present how press brakes are used, applicable standards and safety codes, instructions on safe use, press brake setup, and safeguarding. Cincinnati press brakes are machines that have helped build America. Fabricated metal components formed on a press brake can be found in all sorts of places: aerospace, agriculture, transportation, recreation, military, art, construction, restaurant and food equipment, and architectural components, to name just a few. Trucks and transportation. To look at just one segment, restaurant and food processing equipment, we can see grills, refrigerators, dishwashers, shelving, counters, range hoods, warmers, ovens, and fryers are everywhere. A press brake operator should always be aware of the tremendous forces involved in press brake metalworking. Naturally, specific safety rules must be observed when using a machine which can bend metal with forces greater than the force required to crush a car. Permanently disabling injury can occur when a press brake operator does not pay close attention to the job he or she is doing. Whenever you combine a human with a machine, safety becomes an issue, especially where you have large forces like are used to form or punch metal with a press brake. Applicable standards and safety codes. American National Standards Institute, ANSI, a private nonprofit organization that oversees the development of voluntary consensus standards for products. ANSI B11.3 Safety Requirements for the Construction, Care, and Use of Power Press Brakes is a voluntary standard that provides safety guidelines for manufacturers of press brakes, employers, owners, and users. OSHA is a federal agency that enforces safety in the workplace. OSHA requires employers to safeguard the point of operation per Subpart 0, Section 1910.212 of the Occupational Safety and Health Administrative Directive. OSHA often references ANSI B11.3 for guidance. Responsibility. Press brakes manufactured by Cincinnati Incorporated comply with the construction standards established by the American National Standards Institute and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration as of the date of manufacture. User responsibility. The user, that is the owner, is responsible for the installation and startup of the press brake. The user is also responsible for training supervisors, operators, and maintenance personnel in the proper operation, adjustment, and maintenance of the press brake. It is also the user's responsibility to safeguard the point of operation. Safety and warning signs indicate caution and should be read carefully. The signs may be attached directly to your machine or may be in the general work area. Obey these safety signs. Also check to make sure that the safety signs are in good condition. If a sign becomes damaged or illegible, please contact Cincinnati Incorporated for a replacement. A sign on the machine indicates dangers involved and how important it is to read the operation, maintenance, and safety manual before operating the press brake. Do not place your hands in the die area. Do not position any part of your body where it can be struck or crushed by part movement. Always read and understand the operation, maintenance, and safety manual before installing dies, operating, or servicing a press brake. The point of operation is the area between the dies where the actual forming occurs. Hands, arms, or other parts of one's body should never be placed in the point of operation. The most important press brake safety rule is never put your hands or other parts of your body between the dies, even when the press brake is stopped. Whip up is another danger most often presented when forming a large part. Smaller V-dies mean that even with a slow ram movement, the part can whip up very rapidly. Stand clear. No direction of the part movement. Select a safe forming speed. Fast forming speed that works productively on a small part may provide a significant whip-up danger on a large part. Keep thumbs and fingers clear of part movement. Note that the faster forming speed in the first video produces significant whip-up. The second part is formed with slower forming speed. The primary pinch point of the tooling is obvious. Secondary pinch points are not as obvious and provide a challenge to safely operating a press brake. The operator needs to be vigilant of part movement when it is formed. For instance, this part contacts the tooling at the end of the forming stroke. If the operator is holding the part by the top of the flange, the hand could be pinched between the part and the tooling, resulting in serious injury. Always be aware of the direction the material will move when being formed. Then handle your material where your hands will not be in danger. Read operation and safety manuals. There are several manuals that come with each press brake. An operation and safety and maintenance manual should be kept at the machine for ready reference by the operator. Information on safeguarding and safe operation are also included. Read the operating and safety manuals for the press brake you are using. These are available and should be in a pouch attached to the machine or nearby so that you can refer to them easily. If not, ask your supervisor. It may seem obvious, but managers and machine operators should review each publication supplied with the brake thoroughly before any setup or operation is attempted. In addition, the safety guidelines reiterate reading and understanding the operation and safety manual. If there is some aspect of the brake that you do not understand, please feel free to contact Cincinnati. We have a team of training, tech support, and applications people available to answer your questions. This sign contains safety guidelines for the setup, operation, and shutdown of a hydraulic press brake. Mechanical press brakes have their own safety guidelines. This safety guideline sign again shows the setup, operation, and shutdown procedures when working with a mechanical press brake. The two tasks involved in press brake metalworking are setup and operation. Gain a full understanding of what the operator control key switches do and how to use them properly. The operator key switch is used to prevent unintended ram or gauge motion. Both operators and maintenance personnel should utilize the key switch when setting up or maintaining the machine. The key switch should be turned off, especially when making gauge adjustments or anytime someone is working behind the machine. Press brake setup, die selection. The first step in setting up a press brake is selection of the best dies for the particular job. Often a bend can be made by more than one set of dies, but in terms of safety and efficiency, there is always one set best suited for the job. When transferring dies to or from a press brake, know the weight of the dies. Don't assume that just because a die is small, you can carry it by hand. If you do not know the weight of the dies, or if the dies are heavy, use a hoist or other material handling device. The operator control key switch should be turned off to make sure the ram does not move any time tooling is being inserted or removed. The lower die should be installed first. The ram needs to be low enough to keep the upper die from falling out when it is slid in on the lower die. Under no circumstances should the operator put his hands between the dies. When removing dies, use the palm buttons and move the ram down. Stop the ram just prior to bottoming on the lower die. Turn the operator key switch off. To remove dies, loosen the die clamps and slide the dies in or out of the ends of the press brake. When removing dies, make sure the upper die is resting on the lower die before the die clamp is loosened. For support, keep the tongue of the upper die in the nose of the ram. When moving dies, always remove the upper die first. On a mechanical press brake, it is recommended that the main motor be turned off and that you wait for the flywheel to stop before installing or removing dies. Next, make sure the operating control switch is off. This will prevent you or another worker from accidentally cycling the ram while setting up the dies. If a foot pedal is used to operate a press brake, make sure it is taken off the treadle bar. This is to prevent you or a coworker from accidentally activating the ram. Make sure all nuts, bolts, and screws are tight. Because of the forces involved, loose dies may be thrown out of the machine when it is activated, causing serious injury to you or a coworker. Do not over-tighten your fasteners. The T-wrenches that come with the machine are sufficient. Do not use breaker bars or longer wrenches. Do not reach through the die space to adjust the back gauge. On some back gauges, special tools are available to adjust the back gauge without putting any part of your body in danger from either the point of operation or from the back gauge itself. Reaching through the die space is not only hazardous because of the point of operation, it is also dangerous because of back gauge positioning near the tooling. The back gauge can exert large forces that can cause severe injury between the gauge fingers and the tooling. Neatness is important. Keep the floor of your work area clear of scrap and trash that could cause you to stumble. Put scrap in the proper containers and keep stock and finished work neatly arranged. Be sure slippery surfaces are cleaned up properly. Stumbling and slipping can result in injuries as well. Keep the die area clear. Put away all tools and equipment that are not in use. Tools left in the path of the dies may be shattered by the force of the press brake. Pieces hurled from the machine can cause severe injury and damage. When not in use, tools should be stored in a toolbox or on a wall rack. Hand tools should never be hung on the ram. Even a screwdriver can be deadly if left on the press brake or lower die. Safeguarding. It is the user's responsibility to safeguard the point of operation of a press brake. The press brake manufacturer cannot determine all the possible uses of the machine tool they have produced. The user must, therefore, apply the proper type of safeguarding for the jobs that are being performed on the press brake. Safeguarding selection process. Analyze the part before setup. Type and thickness of metal. Angle and radius of your bends. Length and location of flanges. Select the right dies for the job. Is another type of machine better suited to perform this operation? Select the proper press brake. Examine tonnage, stroke, back gauge, and will it accommodate the part? We want to check the weight of the part to make sure that it can be safely handled. Can the material be safely handled? We want to check the part for secondary pinch point conditions. What is the best safeguarding to use for the part using the selected tooling, handling, and forming sequence? There is no universal form of safeguarding that will work for all parts on all press brakes. Point of operation safeguarding can be one or a combination of devices, guards, and methods including presence sensing, dual palm buttons, hand-foot sequence, restraints or pullbacks, safe distance, partial barriers, fixed guards, and safe opening. Presence sensing devices. A light guard is a common presence sensing device that is used to safeguard the point of operation of a press brake. The light curtain spans the front of the point of operation and prevents press brake movement when the light curtain is interrupted. Another form of safeguarding is active optoelectronic protective devices, sometimes referred to as a laser guard. They provide a protection zone just below, behind, and in front of the tip of the upper die. Dual palm buttons assure that both hands are away from the point of operation. The hand-foot sequence. Often, an operator can use palm buttons and a foot switch to provide safeguarding. The operator brings the ram down to a safe height with the palm buttons, then positions the part against the back gauge and cycles the machine using the foot switch. Safe opening. Limiting the opening in the point of operation to no more than 1/4 of an inch or 6 millimeters may provide adequate safeguarding. Pullbacks are one of the original safety devices employed on brakes. They physically pull the operator's hands out of the way of the point of operation when the press brake cycles. These are more common on mechanical press brakes. Similar to pullbacks are restraints. They simply limit the motion of the operator to make sure they cannot reach the point of operation of the machine. Safe distance is a safeguarding method that involves participation of the supervisor, trained operators, and special instructions. This method is only used when safeguards and safety devices are not feasible. A safe distance from point of operation is determined by trained operators and supervisors. This method should only be used after thorough understanding of ANSI and OSHA requirements for safe distance safeguarding. Fixed guards and partial barriers. Unused portions of the tooling can be safeguarded when there are areas of the tool where the material is not being formed and the gap may be large enough to cause harm. End guards can be used to supplement other devices to limit access to the ends of the die space. End guards can be fixed or hinged. They may or may not be interlocked with the machine control. Awareness barriers provide indication of areas where injury can occur. Make sure to follow proper procedures if you need to access the area guarded with an awareness barrier. Some press brakes have a fence and an interlock gate to prevent entry into the rear of the machine. Safety devices, guards, and methods are no substitute for proper operator safety training by management, following recommended machine builder safety practices, good machine maintenance and repair programs, or most importantly, a safety-minded employee. It is important the user specify protective gear that must be worn at all times when in their shop. Safety glasses and safety shoes should always be worn in a fab shop. Wear snug-fitting hand and arm protection when handling rough or sharp-edged stock. While the machine itself can pose dangers, the simple handling of material in a fab shop poses its own set of dangers. Sheet metal can have sharp edges. Metal parts can be awkward to handle. Recently cut plate parts can be hot. Parts can be heavy. Another way to keep hands away from the point of operation when placing and removing small parts is to employ hand tools like these aluminum tongs. Only soft tools should be used near the die area to help prevent the possibility of injury should a hand tool be left in the die area. Understand the job. If you are working with another person, be sure you both understand the job to be done. Go over the job step by step so each of you understands what the other is doing. Note that these two operators are forming a larger part. The part cannot be formed until they both activate their respective foot controls, or palm buttons, if that's the case. This assures that both operators are ready to form the part safely. More importantly, either operator can stop the motion of the press brake simply by releasing the foot switch. Use a maintenance checklist to be sure the press brake is in proper working condition at the beginning of each shift. Safeguarding at the point of operation is in proper adjustment and operating properly. Pinch point guarding is properly installed. Operator controls are functioning properly. Operating modes are working okay. Ram starting and stopping properly, especially on an older style mechanical press brake. Warning plates should be clean and easily read. Electrical wiring in good condition. Caution painting in good condition. Auxiliary equipment like cranes, scissors tables are checked or working properly. Hand tools are in good order and readily available. Personal protective equipment, make sure yours is in good shape and you and the people around you are wearing appropriate equipment for the job. Concerning your manuals, the operation, safety, and maintenance manuals are attached to the machine and you are familiar with their contents. And that scheduled normal maintenance work has been completed. Only then should you start to do work on the machine. The controls and wiring should be checked to be sure they are not damaged. Damaged wires or electrical boxes may short out a safety device or operator control, preventing it from working properly. All safety devices on the press brake should be checked to be sure they are operating correctly. Report to your supervisor any needed repair or safety hazard that you are not authorized to fix yourself. Do not operate the machine until it is repaired. Before each use of the press brake, a thorough check of the neatness and maintenance of the press brake is important to ensure your safety and the safety of your co-workers. Use a maintenance checklist to be sure the press brake is in proper working condition at the beginning of each shift. Review of press brake operation. When operating or helping on a press brake, you must pay close attention to the job you are doing. Talking, joking, lack of attention, or leaning on machinery while the press brake is in operation can result in serious injury to you or other employees. You should know how your particular press brake operates and understand the specific job you are doing and its safety requirements. If you have any questions regarding safe operation of your press brake, ask your supervisor. At the beginning of each shift, or after you've been away from the press brake for a while, run the machine through several strokes without any material in it to make sure everything is operating correctly. Use special safety hooks or small hand tools to insert and remove parts. These safety tools will crush rather than shatter if accidentally caught in the point of operation. Never place your hands in the die area to reposition or reach for a falling part. No part is worth your hands. Know which way the piece will bend. If the piece moves upward and you are not careful, you could get hit in the face or your hands could get pinched between the piece and the ram. If the piece, while being bent, moves downward and you are not careful to keep a safe distance, you could get hit in the stomach, knees, or other part of your body. Blocking the ram. When you leave your hydraulic press brake, make sure the ram is safe and that it cannot drift out of position. An out-of-level ram from a leaky valve can result in the need for a service call. To make sure the ram is safe, it needs to either be at the bottom of the stroke or resting on appropriate blocks or resting on appropriate tooling. Whenever you leave a mechanical press brake, it is best to leave the ram at the bottom of the stroke. Before leaving, turn off the control, set the locking pin, or remove the foot pedal so no one can accidentally activate the machine. If the ram does not stop immediately when the controls are released, turn off the machine and report this to your supervisor. A brake adjustment is needed if the ram coasts to a stop after the controls are released. This program has reviewed some of the important safety precautions regarding press brake operation. Other precautions may also be needed, depending on the particular job and the press brake being used. Cooperation with fellow workers is an important aspect of press brake safety. Safety is a team effort. This is especially true when more than one person is operating the press brake. The press brakes you operate use powerful forces to bend or punch metal. Your safety and the safety of your co-workers depend upon the use of proper safeguarding and safety awareness discussed in this program. Keep safety in mind at all times when operating a press brake. Experience involves learning by your mistakes. Education is learning how not to make the mistakes experienced by others. For additional information, you can secure applicable safety data sheets from the National Safety Council. It is also necessary to determine your responsibilities under your state and local safety codes. You may also request assistance from the Loss Prevention Department of your workers' compensation carrier. The spirit of continuous improvement is alive, not just in improving the productivity of machinery, but also improving the safe operation of your machinery. Actively work to make your operation safer every day. Take responsibility for your safety and the safety of those around you.